Low-carb shrimp tacos. That's what we got going on today.
Classic.
I'm excited.
It's summertime. I love shrimp, and today we're going to be working with some of my favorites. But we got a few things to put together, so let's get started. The first thing that I would not do is you want fresh corn. Don't use the stuff from a can. So definitely want to get it. And it's corn season here in Ontario, so we want to get the freshest corn we can get. And I'm going to go ahead and pick all the silk out of my avocado. But what I'm doing first is I'm going to create a flat edge for the corn. And we're just going to go ahead without making that much mess. We're just going to add a little bit of olive oil. Wait till that heats up. Get that in our pan. But this is the one thing that I just like the caramelization that comes through on the corn. I'm just going to use a little bit of garlic powder. And because I love Slap Yo Mama, we're just going to use a little bit of that. Instead of adding salt and pepper at every stage, I'm giving ode to Slap Yo Mama. And we're going to use that. But I just like grilling corn. I don't care if you're taking corn off the cob. You can oil, salt, pepper, put any type of seasonings you want on it, throw it on the barbecue and grill it. But this works for what we're doing today. So what we're making here, I forgot to mention, is a pico de gallo. Just a quick homemade pico de gallo. And again, tomato season is here. It's a great time here in that tomato season, corn season, all the good stuff. Watermelon, cantaloupe, zucchini. And all I'm doing is I'm just slicing these small, not small, but small enough. And this is just pico de gallo is going to be the topping. When you're working with cast iron, once it comes up to temperature, I always like to notch it down a little bit. It smells amazing in here, just so those flavors. Now, you don't have to do this. You can use a bowl to mix everything. I'm just using this pan, so I think that the heat just brings everything together a little bit more. Now, you can use cilantro. I don't know what camp you side on when it comes to cilantro. I love it, but I just happen to have parsley in here, so I would say parsley or cilantro would be what I would use. We add some diced red onion. You could use shallot if you want. There's no right or wrong here, at least not in our kitchen. There's enough residual heat in the pan where it's just going to soften everything up. Gonna add a little bit more just before. That is fresh. A little bit more garlic powder. You can already taste the Slap Yo Mama. Now, I rolled this out before we started shooting, but I just like to add, we're going to be adding this later. We're going to be adding this into the crema as well. But you just add a little bit at each stage. I just find it all comes together. So there, we're just going to let that sit. There's our pico de gallo. My version, avocado, or cutting up the avocado. When it's when it's a little more, it's actually not bad. I picked the ripest one I could at the grocery store. You want to kind of get it to so you can mash it. Me, I'm just going to run my knife through it a little bit. We're going to put some more lime juice, lots of lime juice in this one here. And you could have added a few chili flakes if you really like to amp up the heat when you're making the pico de gallo. I'm going to add I like sriracha. So we're just going to add in some sriracha there. This is all the heat that I'm going to use for today. If it was my wife and I at home, Holly is a chili head. She loves everything hot. But because we're going to make everybody in the store here try this today, we're just going to keep it like that. Now, our crema. This is where you want to make this. This is a low carb, actually no carb dish that we're making. And it's not by choice. Instead of using anything carby, we're going to be using lettuce here as our shell. But while we're making it as healthy as possible, I've been onto this stuff lately. I made a few posts about this on X. And I love this stuff. This is a plain yogurt. The reason I love it is that you just pack in 19 grams for every 175 grams that you eat. You can flavor it at home for dessert. Been adding a little bit of vanilla, just a few drops. And also, I just take 1 scoop of Holly's freezer jam, whether it be cherry. She just made some peach this week with peaches in season. Mix that up with 1 tablespoon and a little bit of this, and it's an amazing dessert. So our crema here, we're just going to add a little bit of brown sugar. And again, we're going to get our lime. And you can tell I added lime at each stage for this one. So this is going to be tangy. There we go. And this here, I'm just going to stir that up. The brown sugar is just going to dissolve right in there. See that, Garrett? Oh, yeah. This stuff on its own is kind of tart, not going to lie. But you add in that sugar, sweetens it up. We got the lime juice. So there, we got everything put together. I'm going to clean up a sec, come back. I'm going to show you how I'm going to grill up our shrimp. All right, we're back. We got a little bit cleaned up. We got everything with the exception of, I like to pack a little bit more flavor into the crema. So I'm just going to use a zester. Just going to quickly. Bam. Get that in there. That's just going to add a little bit more to what's already limey. So we got our pan on, and what we're going to use today, I'm going to use beautiful black tiger shrimp. Now these bad boys are 13-15s, which means you get about 13 to 15 per pound. They come with the tails on, but they're conveniently deveined, which is nice. And to get these off, all you simply do, on a shrimp cocktail, you'd be serving them with the tail on. We're going to put them on a taco, so we're going to go ahead and just pinch that. Comes right off. That's it. Now, we're going to get them all quickly. I'm just going to do 9 of them. We're going to put just a few on each one, on each romaine piece. Like we say, we got our pan on. I'm just going to use a little bit of olive oil again. I like mixing a little bit of butter. You get a nice brown on them. So we're going to get the butter in. The thing about using some oil and butter, the oil brings down, the butter brings down makes your butter not brown and your oil not burn. How's that? There we go. And again, for our seasoning, we're going to be using a little bit of Slappy O Mama. Again, you could use salt, pepper, an array of different of your favorite blends. For us, I've used this pan so many times, 9 fits just perfect. I'm going with a generous amount of slappy oh mama. Let that go. I'm going to flip them right away. Get that seasoning side off. And there we are. We're going to let that get happy. In the meantime, going to get our romaine hearts here. And we're just going to, I'm going to layer this in here. I'm just going to get, you get a good shot of that, Garrett. We're going to get our avocado. And just put one layer. Remember, that's our avocado with some spicy sriracha and a bit of the lemon juice. So we're going to get one of them going. We're going to go right in with our pico de gallo, which is that corn on the cob, which is great this time of the year. We're going to layer that in there. A little bit more on this end. We're going to save our crema for the end. These shrimp do not take long, okay? You'll notice how the tips, they kind of come a lot closer. I'm going to flip that one more time. Get a little bit of butter on each one of them. And like I say, total cooking time on these, 4 to 5 minutes max. There's that. And all we're going to do is layer about, well, finish about our third layer here and just put them on top with a bit of our crema. Delish. So they're done. So I'm going to turn the heat off, let them sit. Time to go to the plate. Gonna grab one of them, make sure no oil's on there. Lay that right there. Gonna go ahead and I think we'll just put 3 on there so we can get the leaf around. Get a little bit of that crema. And just dollop that on top. You get a shot of that, Garrett? All right, there we go. Gonna need 2 hands for this one. I'm going right at the end here. Wow. You taste the grilled corn, the lime, which we put on every single thing. That's delicious. That is absolutely amazing. The shrimp are cooked perfect. Not too overdone. Winner, winner, shrimp dinner. I'm Chris at Chris Seafood here at 1300 Seagrave Unit 4 in Woodstock. And remember, we're here to make your meals hook, line, and simple. Thanks. That's delicious. That is absolutely amazing.